So this is my video interpretation for client 5 for the final project. So just on the body assessment, we don't have access to in-body, so we went with some of the basic measures. This client is in recovery from an eating disorder in the past, so has opted to kind of avoid seeing the numbers and not wanting to be measured. So we're just going to kind of use some basic, like just the body weight. I've gone through to get the BMR calories, so I can have that information. So yeah, the measurements we didn't do, but we've spoken about kind of different ways that we can gauge progress if that's what she wants to kind of pursue. But we've also going to put more of an emphasis and focus on gaining strength and positive kind of habits in exercise consistency. So this is going to be more important for her for the first couple of blocks, at least anyway, to put that stuff over her head so that she can create better habits with exercise and the gym, and looking at other things we can gauge progress on is improving some habits with hydration. In the initial consultation, realized that it's probably very low, definitely very low for her body weight. So we're going to add an extra glass of water, just as a simple one of the BLGs we'll go with to begin for the first couple of weeks. Try and build a habit around that. So we have a goal of upping the litres to a certain amount towards the end of the month. Also adding some fresh fruit after seeing the MyFitnessPal diary. She was willing to kind of to go through 3 days of that, even though it wasn't the best possibly to be tracking again and stuff, but just to have an idea of food quality and her base nutrition. So we did the 3 days. Fruit a bit low, fresh produce a bit low, so things we want to focus on before we get too kind of in depth as well is the basic stuff. So fresh produce, aiming for 5 servings of fruit and veg a day, and that's going to be one of the BLGs we introduced early on. And then furthermore is the food hygiene, is the chews, the mindful eating, the kind of slowing down and being kind of thinking about what you're doing. Her digestion is quite poor, we learned as well in the consultation, so this is going to be something that will benefit to improve that. So slowing down the eating at snacks and meals, counting the chews to make sure we're getting the most out of our digestion, and yeah, the hydration, extra fluid as well should help with that too. So that's what we're going with off body. Next section then we have is the move portion. So with this one, went through the assessment, beginning with the scratch, and she got a pass on that. I was close enough between kind of pass fail, but I would go kind of 70% pass. Good overhead reach on both sides. The underhand reach noticeably less on the right hand side, just kind of leads me to believe there might be a little bit of imbalance and extra tightness on that anterior shoulder at the right side, and then a little bit of rib flare, but not glaring on both sides, just with the overhead. So just a little, I think, general slight lack of range of motion through upper mid back shoulder. So safe enough, I think, to do some overhead push, but we will begin with horizontal pushing and progress it to vertical as it improves. We're going to include some shoulder thoracic mobility exercises in the warm-ups to improve range of motion as well, and then single arm movements to balance out what might be kind of lacking there as well. So in the first block of training, for sure, single arm carries, core exercises for control of the core as well, and horizontal rowing exercises for balancing the pushing and stability for the upper back and the exterior rotator cuff. Moving on, then we have the squat. So went with a fail on this. It's, I think, mostly a lack of awareness. Seems to have the depth there, but I think time under tension and more slowed down versions and variations of squatting will improve across the month and allow for kind of adding load then. So we did go with a fail. So yeah, so slight collapse of the knees and knees pushing forward, forcing the heels off the floor to compensate. A little bit of glute weakness maybe and foot stability, but yeah, the body awareness possibly wasn't there because not much squatting happening. So we could tidy that with the time under tension, and changing up the foot position as well a little bit just to play around with it. She informed me afterwards then as well that she did have a lot of knee pain with squatting in general, with both, so it might be hereditary issue, but we will try to work on it with partial range of motion squat, time under tension, building up the glute strength and awareness in tempo style squats. She will be seeing kind of physio as well just to get advice on the knee. So we'll limit the full squats, and step ups are aggravating as well, so no step ups. We're good with wall sits, glute isolation work, single leg as well, and static lunge variations. We'll throw in some flat foot sled push, we have access to that, and rowing, and also include some ankle and hip mobility stretching in warm-ups too as part of the sessions. Next up then was the lunge. We went with a pass on this. We're going to just kind of work on motor control for the first block of training in that accumulation, and then add some load after kind of a couple of weeks into the next block as well, if we're seeing progress and if the lunge is progressing. The right foot possibly could do with some mobility for the ankle, maybe showed a little bit of tightness there coming down, so that will be also included from the squat portion too. But yeah, overall good lunge, so we'll be able to include variations. The toe touch, we went with a pass, but want to be kind of having a bit of caution with the loading up of our hinge movements early on. Just get a little bit of slight rounding through the thoracic region in the upper back on the way down. So could be weak anterior core. We're going to include core isometric exercises to strengthen that. We'll have a quick check at the active straight leg raise as well to see if there's anything that could be correlating there too. We're going to just kind of have a quick look at learning flexion and extension through the spine, so teaching her how to control that with a Jefferson curl, basic, unloaded, just kind of lightweight as well to begin, a light kettlebell perhaps, and yeah, we'll start off with some simple stuff like that and then progress it to more loaded RDL versions and stuff like that as we get stronger and more in control of the movement and stretched. Then the active straight leg raise, I would go with a pass again, but with caution. It is, it's a good level, a little bit of imbalance. I think the right leg has slight knee bend, very slight, but the left was straight, and just like possible tightness in the hamstring on that right side. So we'll include stretch mobility work for the hamstrings, and then some active straight leg raise variation exercises in our training. Unloaded first as well, we could do the hinge with the stick, be quite a good one for her to balance up, and possible hip core issue maybe leading from that as well, which we can, we're going to be doing lunging to counteract that too, and strengthen. And then I just have down body awareness, because again, it's lying down to do something for the first time, and just kind of maybe not being completely aware of your body in space and where it is. So it looked quite good, but we'll approach with caution. So yeah, including core control, strength exercises, ASLR exercises, some bending but no loading yet, progress to load, and hinge with stick onto RDLs loaded, and then to single leg kind of RDL variations with load as well further down. So front plank, we give a pass. She got 60 seconds, so it was just on the nose of where we finished. Had good angles, correct positions, looked solid throughout for 60, so no issues there. The reverse plank was okay, 52 seconds, so close enough to pass, but still a fail. Looked quite strong, correct position for a good 85% of the required time. So just lacking some muscle endurance in the posterior chain and shoulders, I think. And we'll prioritize some isolated glute hamstring exercises, lunge variations, single arm pressing, carries, single arm and double arm carries with the farmer. And side planks. So we had 2 fails, left side 43 second, right side 59. Not much in the difference, but both kind of quite far off where we'd want to be hitting at the 90. So imbalance in strength, the non-dominant side was actually less, so that's quite common. So the reason just cannot hold 90 seconds each side, lack of spinal endurance and core strength. So we'll include just, you know, easy side plank exercises with the bent knee to regress it a bit and build it up. The single arm carries should help out there too, and some raises with tempo, so side plank raises. Midline was kind of broken towards the end as well, so it's just the same as the above fault, the initial fault. So we want to be looking at the glute and hamstring strength and get some isolated exercises for that, and the mobility work for the that pelvic range of motion too. Yeah, so that finishes up with the move assessment, and then just on the work, it was 91 calories at a body weight of 80 kilos. I would like to see a higher score after the conversion was done too. So it was a good steady pace across for about kind of that 67 minute. You know, quite good, 57, kind of 58 RPM, good holding pace, so not up and down. Did slow down a bit towards the end, so just that overall kind of endurance and power output was slowing down. But did kind of pick it up then for the last 30 seconds to kind of push strong and finish off so whatever was left in the tank. So good effort. We're going to keep it just for the accumulation phase first. We'll go with MAP 10. She's not the biggest fan of cardio, like you know, traditional cardio kind of workouts or those, you know, conditioning workouts. So walking, just to get out in the sunshine as well. Consultation did kind of show up that was lacking a bit in outdoor kind of time, so that will be on 2 days. We'll go with the MAP 10 for a 60-minute walk if possible, or a little less, whatever time you kind of have available with the busy day. She has a bit of a hectic lifestyle with work hours and stuff, so I'm going to get the most out of it and try and include our aerobic work as just kind of MAP 10, and then we'll do that for the first month, see to progress it on to MAP 9 maybe in the second cycle. So that is, yeah, client 5 done. Also just to follow on with the 2 days of the MAP 10, our training schedule will be just 2 days to begin for the first cycle, and see if we can just work on building that habit of getting to the gym. Might include an optional 3rd day, but for sure just the 2 full body resistance days, including all those priorities from the findings of the move assessment, and focus on those. And yeah, like her erratic work schedule with being on emergency call, different hours like that, and on shift work and changing and doing nights as well. It's tough sometimes maybe to make it, and if you don't get like as many sessions as you want, you know, would feel like it impacts like that feeling of achievement. So just the 2 sessions, if we get those in, it just means if she misses the, you know, the Monday or the Tuesday, whatever it is, that she can kind of get it in again before the end of the week and still get her 2 sessions done. So it's a good start, and we'll go from there.